Arkansas, Memphis. Memphis quarterback missed 2 wide open receivers under zero pressure. One for a touchdown inside the 30, one for a first down. When I came in this game, I wanted to see Arkansas move the ball with ease versus a secondary that gave you each and every opportunity you wanted down the field. Third drive, Green throws a blatant interception on a horrible read. Not what I wanted to see. Looking at Brandon Lewis early, I felt like he could benefit from utilizing his legs, which would create open receivers that they can take advantage of down the field by using that run threat and making them have to appear to defend that. I didn't see a lot of that. I seen a lot of drop back throws, and it didn't look great early. Then I have Brandon Lewis utilize his legs to give Memphis an advantage with 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter to go up 10-7. With Taylor Green, will Taylor Green open up a bit? He had 0 rushes so far in that game. Memphis got cute on 3rd and 1, running a jet sweep RPO, led the penetration and an intentional grounding, which got 4th and 6. I felt like that was a big play moment early in that game when it was 10-7 because if I'm correct, Memphis did not score and Arkansas went down the field and scored. And this is what I have in my notes. Memphis is supposed to be stout in rushing defense. I can't tell. 16 for 16 in red zone scoring touchdowns for Arkansas. Green is winning the quarterback battle so far. 27-10 Arkansas. Memphis' greatest offensive power is their run game. When you struggle hitting the shots you have taking advantage of those plays, it doesn't allow you to run the ball because they're going to pack that box in. Taking away that strength, 42 seconds remaining at the 40. They need a touchdown. And I put in my notes in quotation, still waiting to see precision passing from Brandon Lewis. This is at the 7:20 mark. Actually, no, he's 7 of 20 at that point in time. Next play, he drops it in the bucket for a touchdown. Overall, though I'm not seeing this accuracy that PFF spoke of in Brandon Lewis, throws a deep ball with too much air and short to a 5'11 wide receiver guarded by a 6'2 corner for a jump ball interception. This thing wasn't looking good early. Taylor Green touchdown got called back on a long run because of wide receiver hold drive stalled. This is a key thing because if you follow my free bet Fridays, I had Taylor Green to score a touchdown and I had the over in this game. Coupled with a couple other parlays and a couple other picks in. That failed early. And it always seems there's plays like that within a game, whether you're betting or whatsoever, that, yeah, the end result might be a loss, but it's plays like that that can always set you back. So I like to point these things out because it doesn't matter if it's receptions or if it's yards. You have a receiver like a couple weeks, Jeremy Bernard, came 8 yards short of going over. But there was a play that was called back that he caught and ran for about 7-8 yards. But it was called back because of defensive holding. They accepted the penalty, the yards, and negated. Things like that. I'm telling you. This game has been the total opposite of what the stats would insinuate unless you just banked on offense. Memphis was supposed to have the strong rush defense. Arkansas was able to run the ball up and down the field. Memphis wasn't supposed to be as stout running the ball. They were able to do that. So if you're banking on offense, this was the game that you wanted to see. And I said the same. I'm getting tired of seeing offenses not utilize their running quarterbacks inside the 5-yard line and use the run-pass option to help put pressure on defenses. Gardner Stockton. Next game, Tennessee, UAB. This is going to be a short one. I honestly doubted the Vols wide receiver room, often wondering if they possess that dynamic receiver. Yeah, I've always seen Brazzle flash across the screen since he's been there, but Youngin is killing the game. And I didn't take that for much. But after the UGA game and how he came out in that first drive versus UAB, I got to put some respect on his name. Much respect to Chris Brazzle. He's been giving us Brazzle Dazzle every week, and I love it. Definitely someone that should be looked at, and it makes you wonder, where will he fall in this wide receiver conversation as the year ends? One of the leading wide receivers in the country. I believe he might be number one. Ole Miss, Tulane. Chambliss long run on for 41 yards on the opening drive, leading to 7 points. What is in the Missouri water? Kawan Lacey, transferred from Mizzou. Then you have Ahmad Hardy going off in Mizzou. Kawan Lacey scored his 6th touchdown of the season, did score his 7th touchdown beginning the 4th quarter. Henry has the touchdown record, and that's Derrick Henry with 28. At this pace, Lacey could be tied for 7th in all-time single seasons within the SEC in touchdowns, rushing-wise. Kawan Lacey has the potential to finish as a top 10 all-time rusher in touchdowns. I didn't have that on my bingo card. Ole Miss's defense has came to compete this week. Tulane averages 30 points per game, having scored 10 into the 4th quarter. Even in a blowout, Chambliss dropped a dime to his receiver with 8 minutes remaining in the 4th, making it 44-3. And I put, this guy is what Ole Miss needs. You can stick to that ideology, you can't lose your job when injured, but this is college football. Multiple losses can sink your season trying to figure out who's who or trying to uphold some unwritten rule. Get right or get left. Ole Miss over on the sideline having a damn dunk contest in the middle of a game. Doesn't get more college football than that. Oklahoma, Auburn, the big showdown. The we'll know who they are game of the week. Oklahoma is 4th in total defense and in scoring defense. First drive, Arnold held onto the ball way too long on that 3rd down. That's the thing that got him at Oklahoma. 7 points taken off the board. That was a catch, and it was a fumble. Then Auburn gets a holding penalty on the next play. Early stat lines after the first drives. Arnold, 2 rushes, minus 10 yards. Mateer, 3 rushes, 15 yards. This could be the story of how this game goes. If Arnold is forced to throw, this could be a long day. As well as if Auburn gives up 5 yards rushing per attempt, and vice versa. Arnold went from huge play to Coleman to potential pick 6 on the following play. Do not put the ball in his hands to determine this game. Auburn stopped short on goal line, ran a great swing play to the short side of the field. One of my biggest pet peeves. Jackson Arnold needs to process the game much faster. This is 50 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter. Running back steps up and stones the blitzing backer. Arnold hesitates just half a second, which was enough time to allow the backer to gain his footing and make the tackle on Arnold. Watch the game. It's so many times that you see him just tend to hold the ball a little bit longer than he should. Auburn better start doing some damage before Art Mason Thomas comes into the game, because he was suspended for the whole first half. Nothing but mistakes from Auburn on the 7th drive of the game. 40-yard pass, incomplete, false start, 5 yards back, another false start, 5 yards back, personal foul by Auburn, holding penalty by Oklahoma, which brings him up 10 yards. Then Auburn gets an 8-yard sack. Incompletion and another 5 yards. Then fumbled the punt and tackled at the 12-yard line for a loss. 2 plays later, Oklahoma scores from 12 yards out. Auburn has hurt themselves more than anything. Controversial play call on the player leaving the field. He was trying to deceive, or was Auburn not paying attention? Which led to a wide open wide receiver for a touchdown. Yeah, because I get what the argument is, that that's a deceiving play. But bro, there is 50 yards on the field from sideline to sideline. Pay attention. Stay locked in. You have to put some accountability on Auburn in that moment. If the guy's not off the field, he's on the field. No deception in the quarterback run scheme by Auburn. It was so vanilla, their offense. They didn't give this team the best chance to succeed on offense. Great job by the tight end directing his wide receiver to get on the line of scrimmage after the formation shift at the 1 minute and 50-second mark, which led to a big 10-yard gain. The little things that matter the most. What a pro catch by Cam Coleman on the next play to tie the game before half. Overvalued quarterback or undervalued defense? That's on me. Because it was definitely undervalued defenses. Both defenses shine. Quarterbacks, definitely overvalued. Johnny Mateer played a great game, but it was not the most impressive day of the evening, especially for the front runner and the Heisman. Second half, R. Mason Thomas is in the game. R. Mason Thomas just ran down a running back and saved a touchdown, followed by Jackson Arnold, missing a wide open receiver. Not impressed by Arnold. Then he missed another wide open receiver on a crossing route, high and behind him, followed by a false start, 3rd and 15. What an obvious pass interference missed by the refs on that pass from Singleton to Coleman. Big mistake. If you look at the replay, the ref's not even looking where the ball's going. He's running ahead of the play. His eyes are not even locked on the receiver. Granted, they were still able to score on that play. Jackson Arnold comically takes a sack. The rate he takes sacks is very unnecessary. It shows why he struggled at Oklahoma, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, this is quite the microcosm and synopsis of why Auburn might be capped. And throughout this game, Oklahoma showed and proved why they're one of the best defenses in the nation. And this team will go as far as this defense is willing to take them. 10 sacks by Oklahoma. I think they might have finished with 11, which is a school record. Under pressure 14 times and only got 2 passes off. Average time to throw the ball was a little over 3 seconds for Jackson Arnold. What is this, the NBA last 2-minute report? Who cares if a illegal play by Oklahoma should have warranted a penalty? It wasn't called during the game. So I don't want to hear anything after the game or 3 hours later about that should have been a penalty. The pass interference against Cam Coleman should have been called. He got rock bottom at the end zone. You have to make those calls. What is going on with officiating within college football? We have to fix these things. They have big impacts on games like this. And I just got to call it for what it is. It happens too often. It happens too often. USC, Mizzou. Sellers misses wide open wide receiver on early 3rd down and long. Type of throw we shouldn't expect him to miss for sure. Ahmad Hardy just ran through someone's chest on the way to a 29-yard score, and they're up 6-0 after missing a field goal. Sellers matches that injury with a tight go ball for a touchdown to Jacobs to make it 7-6. Hardy with another explosive run for 18 yards, followed by a bad throw into coverage for interception. That was the second throw into coverage as Bo tried to fit one into Kevin Coleman in the end zone. That was an overthrow. Sellers with a great deep ball to begin the second half. But next play, throw the ball away, bro. He takes a 15-yard sack to put them at the 15, then a holding penalty on the next play to make it 2nd and 25 on the fringe of field goal range. That's not good field management. You got to take advantage of those plays. We expected Lenore Sellers to come in and be that guy this year. I haven't quite seen it yet. Granted, he's young. He's just a sophomore. He has room to grow. But I have not seen what has been projected as the first or second quarterback off the board. And that's arguably between Nussmeier, Klubnik, and Sellers. I'm not sure about the game plan for Mizzou. It's been Kevin Coleman all year. And all of a sudden, Marquise Johnson has 10-plus targets compared to Coleman's 5 targets at this point. That was me being frustrated for having that 5.5 Kevin Coleman over receptions. Just got to throw that in there. Sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to work. Florida, Miami. Stall drive by Florida to start the game. Florida team defense seems a bit lethargic, no energy, and got pushed around on their first drive. That's what I seen. Florida just looks out of sync early. And that makes you wonder, if your team isn't prepared in the beginning of the game when it's 0-0, once you start getting punched in the mouth a little bit, what happens then? And then they go to a clip and you watch Texas slam dunk and celebrate against Sam Houston State. It'll be totally different ball game versus Florida in a couple weeks. These are my notes. This Florida defense comes to play. They do their job, and unfortunately, it seems the quarterback play and play calling might be too incompetent to match their defensive energy. This Florida offense is just bad. 25 total yards with less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 3 and out on 5 of 6 drives. 0 for 7 on third downs in the first half. But what a great break on the ball by Cormani McClain, the transfer from Colorado, controversial transfer, who struggled within this Florida offense and finding his way, but seems to be in a maturation season. And I'm looking forward to see what type of impact he has for this team, because they will need him on the defensive side. The interception that he made was the biggest defensive play in the game when they needed it the most. How did the offense respond? They go 8 plays and turn over on downs. Next drive, 3 and out. Next drive they get 4 and out. Drive after that to end the game, 4 and out. It napped the 2 on offense. Shame on you, Gators. Make sure you hit the like button, and while you're at it, tap subscribe, leave your comments, and please share if possible. Your engagement goes a long way. Make sure you follow us on all socials at Bombo ENT Group. That's at BOMBOENTGROUP. I'm your host, Joe Bombo, and I'm truly appreciative of all you all tuning in for another episode of iHeart SEC. Until next time.